Hello and welcome to Gamer's Ledge. My name is Mark. I'm one of the players of this here game, but of course Daniel is our GM, and I will turn it over to you.
Hey everyone, welcome once again to our Tuesday MCU-themed superhero role-playing game done with Mutants and Masterminds. We're going to go through really quick, go over a very quick character introduction, and then I will catch everybody up because it's been a couple weeks since we played, and then we will jump right into it. So let's go ahead and start with Mark.
Hi everybody, I'm playing Silver Surfer. He is not a mutant. He's a mastermind, not a mutant. See what I did there? Anyways, he's from space. He's the Herald of Galactus, but he's fallen to Earth and very depowered version of Silver Surfer.
Go ahead, Justin.
Yes, I'm playing Surge, the speedster, essentially. It's a... tries to do good, tries to help out the main populace of mutants. Tries to have a good moral compass, but other than that, pretty much a speedster that goes along with the group.
Awesome. John.
My character is Blindfold, a mutant with powers of telepathy and mind control. My character is a known public mutant and also very outspoken about mutant rights and mutant integration with the rest of human society.
Sweet. And Nick.
I play Aeon. I am kind of like a rogue-esque kind of character, or like Elixir, is more modeled after between the two of them. He has had various run-ins with not so nice humans groups. He has fared well against them, but he doesn't trust humans when they come together to make choices for us.
Okay. Those viewers might notice we are missing Cadis tonight, played by Ray, who is our Gambit character for this version of the Marvel Universe. And he'll be sorely missed, but we'll see him hopefully next time we sit down to play. As you may hopefully remember, you guys had just finished interviewing Kraven the Hunter and Scorpion about what they were doing there, the information that they'd gathered, and had come back together to talk to Shuri, the Queen of Wakanda, as well as kind of some of the other people that had been leads in the Wakandan. I'm thinking for the word. Convention.
Oh, yeah.
And you were going to share some of your findings with her. She also asked that the mutants of you present, like, at the summit. It's a summit. On behalf of mutants, to kind of put a human face on mutants for a lot of the attendees. And that's where we had paused it. You guys came in to the large royal chamber that has huge windows overlooking the city of Wakanda, or overlooking the main city in Wakanda. Victor and Reed Richards are both there, as well as Senator Lee Kelly and Osmond Price. Did you guys have any questions?
So, yes, I have two questions. First one is out of character. Has everyone here at the table seen Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
What's that? What? What's that movie? I think most of us saw it together, actually.
Yeah, actually, we all saw it together, Mark.
Oh, well, that makes it easy. Okay, so if you're watching at home and you have not watched it, you need to turn this off right now, because my next question is, does everyone pop back into the room?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Sounds good. I was just checking.
And they won't now.
Just checking.
I was telling Mark the other day, for a real quick pause, I love the movie, but I was frustrated because they did some things in the movie I had already been planning on doing in the game, and now cannot do. So I actually rewrote quite a few paths. I'm still working on some of it. But yeah, pretty funny. No, people don't just pop into the room.
Okay, great. I looked for a second, waiting. Nothing happened. I moved on. Great. Thank you.
My question is, how would you know? You're like, I felt a disturbance in the force, and then
Right.
nothing. And then suddenly, okay.
Yeah.
Cosmic power.
Yeah, cosmic power.
I felt a disturbance in the force, as if billions of fanboys cried out in terror and were suddenly and righteously silenced.
Yes, so actually, I think we had been making our way back to make sure... Well, I mean, I knew we were in the cells. That's the last place we were, and Reed and them were in there, and we had gone to talk to them about something. I'm trying to find my notes.
We were just going to give them a debrief of what we learned. We were on our way basically into there saying, this is what we've learned, and then we got asked to do the summit brief, and that's kind of exactly where we cut off.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And I'm supposed to just, like, not present, right?
Not if you don't want to.
Yeah, you can present on online of like being cosmic, I guess.
Well,
There's other things out there besides just mutants and humans.
yes, but aliens are super looked down upon right now. Because
Who knows that he's not a human? I mean,
He
could be a mutant with some
you. Be the change you want to see.
I'm not allowed to gun down that many people.
Allowed and ability are two different things.
Oh, my accuracy is good enough.
Explosions are big enough you don't need accuracy.
Cake.
Fair.
So next scene had us doing what again?
It's really up to you guys. You had not talked to the Inhuman that you had captured. You skipped right past his cell to come back to the royal chambers. So you could interrogate him or leave him to talk to him later. You could figure out what you want to say in front of the conference. You could...
Scorpion's gonna die. Right? He was like getting poisoned from not having whatever he was having, so he's on
Scorpion the Inhuman?
Scorpion's suit, because he is a mutant, Scorpion's suit was providing him with
an anti-venom, almost.
Yeah, kind of like an anti-venom.
Antidote.
Who was the Inhuman? I don't remember, because I remember Scorpion and I remember...
So, at the very...
Hunter.
Very beginning, yes, it was Maddox. At the very beginning of... Thank you. Very beginning of the summit, Medusa and some Inhumans had jumped in and started a ruckus, and you guys knocked one of them unconscious, which was a man who could split himself into multiple copies.
Oh, okay.
I thought, and the Rhino guy.
The Rhino was actually one of Craven's stooges,
And
who
he
got sucked into Arcadia.
Yeah.
Or, and Anthony's gonna correct me, but it's like Alfheim or something.
Yes.
Elfheim, got it.
So, I think you guys should speak on behalf of Mutant Kind. And in the meantime, I can try and... If there's any remaining of the chemical in the suit that kept Scorpion alive, I can make some for him, and that's what I will do. I'll spend my time...
I know that was being sent to the lab to be figured out what that chemical was.
So, the way that the chemical is introduced to his system is through the suit. So while you may be able to get him more of the chemical, you're not entirely sure how to get it into his body without the suit.
Lather it. He'll absorb it through his membranes. Just lather him in whatever chemical it is. Just coat it on like a mud. It'll make its way in.
We make bullets out of it and shoot him with them.
Nice.
I like the catheter method.
Wow. Why would you like that?
But I don't like pain when I cath.
Wow.
Awesome, Mark.
Stupid catheter cowboy.
What else do you know? Do you know the 3 elements of the U.S. nuclear deterrence triad?
Yes, unfortunately.
So, okay. I mean, I know we destroyed the suit, but it's still here, right? We still have it.
Yeah, do you really want to give him any part of the suit back?
Nope.
But
It's up to you.
can't let him die.
He's very much the whatchamacallit in Iron Man 2, the guy that went onto the racetrack.
Whiplash.
Yeah, he's very much that to hurt the gods so that way they seem weak. That's the kind of mentality I get from him.
From Scorpion? Really?
I know. I didn't get that from him at all.
I
got
kind of
it.
did.
I'm a stooge. Without my suit, I'm gonna die. I did that thing.
That's pretty much what he said. I think you're thinking of Craven. Because Craven was very much like, I'm not going to do nothing, and then we mind control him, and he was very pissed.
Scorpion actually lived off by himself in the Savage Lands until he was forcibly recruited. So I hope that I was trying to have that come across.
Success!
I did get that. I got it about 5 seconds ago, but I totally got that.
So
yeah.
is it a problem with regulating how much he's being given because his suit did that automatically, and the Wakandans wouldn't be able to do that? Why?
No, I think we just broke it because I believe someone tried to extricate him from it.
Nope,
Completely.
you didn't. You didn't. You were going to break it. Nick wanted to tear the tail off,
Right.
but he has a tail. His tail was inside the tail. So doing that would have mutilated Scorpion, the man inside Scorpion's suit.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, let me flip my lucky coin. Coin says, "Oh, too bad."
So, if we've got the suit... Why am I getting such a huge echo? If we have the suit, then can't we just make the chemical, put it in there, and deliver it to him while he's restrained?
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Or we can just give him a shot.
Or you could remove the combat effectiveness of the armor itself, of the suit.
Yeah, but then he's still got armor. Really don't feel like armoring our captive.
We just break his hands and his knees.
I say armor, it really isn't armor. It's more like a...
His super suit.
Yeah, it's a carapace. It's a bio super suit. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah, and I'm definitely certain that he won't be able to use any previously unnoticed functions of that biological supersuit.
So using all the tactical condom, I think we can come up with they can come up with a solution that isn't putting it back on him.
Honestly, keeping their captive alive is their problem at this point. He's their captive, not ours.
True statement. I would like him to live, but it's not a requirement.
Blindfold doesn't care that much.
We can just put one of those ankle things on him, so we'll know if he tries to leave.
I like the neck brace myself.
One of those ankle things on him, like a bomb?
Yeah. That if he leaves the facility, it detonates. If he tries to take off, it detonates. I love that movie, by the way. Both of them.
Speed.
No, the one with the net faces, to where the president their heads explode.
I know what you meant. I was being facetious.
Anyway,
Yes. So,
actions.
Well, I believe we're in the room getting ready to talk to Suri. Her Highnessness.
Okay.
I, Blindfold, shall accept Shuri's offer to speak on behalf of mutants.
I let him. And don't offer to speak in front of anybody.
Which is probably a good idea.
Exactly. I know my faults. And speaking in front of humans is not one of my attributes.
Is that in character or out of character?
In character.
Sure. Okay.
As you guys enter the room, Senator Kelly moves back to stand closer to the wall, and Human Richards move over so that you've got more of a clear floor. You see that in the center... Ooh, where are you? There you are. In the center are groups of chairs around a small, low table, and Shuri is standing in front of the large windows, surveying all within her domain. Yeah, just gonna stand at the back of the room.
All right.
I will turn to, well, I'll stand at the back of the room and say, Your Highness, I still believe Richard's life to be in danger. I would like to accompany him for the remainder of his time here.
What leads you to believe that there's still a threat?
I will relay the things that Craven said and did.
Do you remember the things he said and did?
No, that's why I said I will relay the things that he said and did. I remember that he tore the bed off and that stuff. What?
Yeah. He also gave you guys locations for bombs.
Oh, that's right. The bombs.
That you guys went and took care of.
Yes, we already relayed that information to the Wakandan law enforcement authorities.
And there were multiple guards that you were able to pull, that Blindfold was able to pull the image from his head.
Yes.
And then, I can't remember how you guys ended up with pictures of it, but you ended up with pictures of it.
Yes.
Oh, we looked through the database.
That really helpful Wakandan guard that's not here right now helped us.
Yeah.
Go through the database.
And he went off to find the guards, and you guys went and found the bombs. That's what happened.
Correct.
Okay. And so you pass that to her. She says, yes, please, if it wouldn't put you... She thanks you for your help.
I would ask what protocol you would like me to follow, mainly because the person that had been keeping us out of sight is gone. So would you prefer I look my normal state or blend in as best I can?
So this is news for Senator Kelly, who standing there was not present last time.
Yeah.
His mouth drops open. He says, you've been here before now, hidden amongst us.
Yeah, we're mutants. We're here. Deal with it.
He looks over at Osmond Price with like a knowing...
Blindfold at this point will say, well, technically, most of the human population are mutants. Red hair's a mutation. Blonde hair, like yours, Senator, is a mutation. The difference is some mutants are more different in their mutations than others.
Like
yes.
Your
Some are more dangerous.
Your hate is a mutation. One that should be eradicated.
When he says that we are dangerous, I turn to him and say, that's all right. I understand your concerns. But you don't have to worry. I'm not a mutant. I'm an alien.
That's so much better.
And then he proceeds to kill him.
They step back away from you and look at Shuri at like she just invited an even larger threat into her home. And Shuri looks at you with like really wide eyes, like, I can't believe you just did that.
And I will walk very slowly and extend my hand to Senator Kelly. I'm not threatening or anything like that. Just honestly, just a handshake. And whether he chooses to take it or not, that's what I'm gonna do.
How far are you going?
Towards him?
Oh,
Like, he starts backpedaling away so quickly he's tripping over his own feet to put the desk between you and him.
Oh.
Oh, look, he's afraid, like always.
I will look at my hand, look at him, see what his reaction is. You have to say something, Daniel, or it won't switch to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm on the other screen. That's the face he's making.
Don't be scared.
I come
He's
in
just a cosmic
peace.
idiot.
For now, yes. Until your forces amass on our borders.
I don't need any other forces, thank you. And then
His eyes go wide in fear, and you can see him talking into an earpiece.
wait. So how is he talking into the earpiece? Is he like his lips like?
No, like his hand is on his ear, and he's whispering something into what you assume is a jawbone mic.
I bow to Shuri. I say, thank you, Your Highness, for allowing us to attend the conference, and I apologize as I seem to have made things worse. And I will go stand over by Reed.
She gives you a knowing look, and you get the feeling that things were already worse. You haven't made them any more worse.
I know. But I'm going to go stand over by Reed.
Okay.
I'll shake
Probably
Reed.
not going to get a Christmas card this year.
I will extend my hand to Reed Richards.
He'll take your hand enthusiastically and shake it.
I will extend my hand to Von Doom.
I don't think
Doctor,
we've met.
I've heard much about your philanthropic work in Latveria.
Yes, we try our best. It's nice to meet you. And he'll have a smirk on his face and kind of wave his hand in front of your eyes because you're wearing an obvious blindfold. But you walked straight to him and extended your hand in the exact right place.
And when he does that with his hand, like the blindfold is here, and my eyebrow will go.
He'll chuckle and say, "No offense meant."
I request that he plays like this for the rest of the game now.
I'll be back.
So once I go stand, I'll stand right behind Reed after shaking his hand, and then I'll go ahead and silver up, just because now I'm kind of putting the screws to Kelly.
Oh, I thought you were already silver.
No, I was just a normal looking dude, and he's
I have to go to the bathroom, and then walks away.
I have to go to the bathroom. Senator Kelly will move back to the wall across from you guys. And Shuri says, Senator, Mr. Price, I think it's a good idea if you go ahead and go to the meeting that we set up for you earlier. I believe that the representatives are already there waiting for you. I'll have a conversation with our guests here, and I will see you later tonight at the closing of the summit. Senator Kelly looks at her with like daggers in his eyes, and he and Osmond Price move as quickly and safely as possible between the two mutants, Surge and Blindfold.
When they're right there, I say, Senator Kelly. Nanu.
He doesn't seem to get the joke.
Good.
I walk in front of him for a half second, so he's like, wait, what? And I go back to where I'm at.
Yeah, you know, the guy who's scared of mutants, it's always a good idea to scare him more.
What do you mean? I never left.
He'll halt his step for a second, shake it off, and keep walking. You know, you didn't have to give him further cause to fear you. Sure, he says.
Well, he's already afraid. He couldn't possibly feel any more fear.
No, but he's a very powerful man with a lot of powerful friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't take telepathy to know that he came here with the intent to gain ammunition, and anything that we did or said would be taken that way.
I'm sorry, I want the 3 fingers on both sides, not the blindfold.
Well, you're not going to get it.
You're wearing a blindfold.
I like tie. You're calling
That's
on
awesome. Okay.
I never taught you how to actually wear a tie, but that's not it.
No, I think that's excellent.
Wait, did you say that's not it? Puns.
All right. She says, if you guys can please prepare. Closing statements for the summit will be at 6 p.m. tonight. But I would like you guys to speak around 5, and then we'll have the closing of the summit, and get these people home.
I do beg your pardon, Your Highness. I actually, that question I asked was in earnest. Do you wish me to be in my normal form or look more humanish?
At this point, it makes no difference, sir, because Senator Kelly and Osmond Price, I'm sure, will be telling everyone that we have an alien among us very soon, if they haven't already. I would expect that people are going to be looking for you now.
I actually had a motive for doing that. It is simply because at some point I know I will need to speak to the leaders of the governments to inform them about the Skrull threat that we discussed.
You're not wrong.
Don't
Though
they know the Skrull
I'm not
threat?
sure this summit was the best choice of venue. If you would like, we can include your words in the closing statements. Of course, it's just going to open up a can of worms in itself, but you're right. They need to know.
We should all be friends with each other. And as the final note of everything, you're all doomed if you don't work together. We're going to die in 12 days. All right, let's all work on this.
Oh, 12 days.
Oh, 12 years.
no,
Oh.
there's not a time frame per se. I'm just telling you what I saw as I fell to Earth.
You're an angel?
My name's Angela.
Nice.
Also,
Hey,
Did it hurt
He fell through a crack.
when you crawl from hell?
wow. What did I do?
apparently crawled from hell.
Justin, words are knives.
Really? I thought knives were knives.
What they are, but words are also knives. Except when they're words.
Oh, yes, please.
Justin,
Knives.
Justin, do yourself a favor and read Mark's shirt.
Be bad, do good.
What does the lower part say?
Top
It says,
tip.
do good, be kind.
Oh, I was hoping there was more.
No, that's it.
Oh.
Be kind, rewind.
That's
Technically, they say, please be kind, rewind.
I guess that's a D.
Yeah. If you wish it, I can do so.
I've been working on something. I mean, we haven't had a lot of time in the last 2 days, but I think I might be able to have you show the room what you showed me. I think that will help your case. If you recall, there was a device in the center of the room that we used to examine your skeletal structure.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand there and attempt to project like you did with us, it should show in the room in a 3D display.
I would be happy.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
I shall.
You are the herald, I guess, right?
Of Galactus.
Now the Kree, apparently.
The Kree
Well,
will
thank
not
you.
come to save you.
Neither will Galactus.
I will do my best.
There's a bit for me to think on, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me. And she walks back to the windows. Doom will look to you, Silver Surfer, and say, "Keep an eye on him, will ya? He tends to get in trouble." And he'll wink to Reed Richards, and then he'll move to stand by Shuri. And you 5 are left to your own devices.
I turn
That's-
to. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I turn to Reed and I say, "Is there something wrong with Victor's face?"
With his face?
What, the mask?
It seems he has some kind of injury or something in his eye.
Reed will chuckle to himself. "You mean this?" And he winks.
Indeed.
No, it's a human. I don't even know what you would call it. I personally, me, Daniel, don't know what you would call it. A human action? I don't know. It means he was poking fun, making fun,
We'll
joking.
call it nonverbal communication method.
Yeah, it's a non-verbal communication method. Thank you.
I shall remember this. Thank you.
Was there a specific reason that you were worried for my safety?
A man came here with the intent of killing almost everyone to get to you. Yes.
He has a shocked look on his face. Really?
His
Yeah.
plans for murdering you were quite detailed and thorough.
And extensive.
Not just you, but like a lot of people.
Interesting. Oh my goodness. Come with me. And he, books it out the door. And I say books it, but he's moving at, normal human speed, so the rest of you are easily keeping up.
Blindfold follows.
He makes his way through different corridors and back rooms and back walkways until he gets to an elevator, and you guys recognize it as the same type of elevator that took some of you down into the mines. As he arrives in the deep vibranium mines that are partial laboratory now, you can see that somebody has done a number on one of his larger laboratory areas. It looks like things were turned over, destroyed. Somebody went through looking for something and destroyed everything in the process. "Oh gods, no," he says.
Are there any people in the room? Any humanoid intelligence life? Any sentience?
No,
So-
not even us.
Putting out your feelers, you
Mhm.
feel the group that's around you, and pretty far away there's other humans, but they look to be pretty, they're sleeping, but they're pretty far away. Down here. Not near the area. So imagine the Batcave, how there's the flat areas where his laboratory is and his car is parked and that kind of stuff. There's little flat areas like that throughout the mines that have like the new Quinjets he's been working on and different projects and stuff. And then far in the distance you can see a barracks, and then far in the other distance you can see like an underground building that's been built up like a bunker. And one of his labs that he ran to after getting off the elevator was about the size of half a football field and had all manner of technology and storage and safes and equipment, and it looks completely thrashed.
Hopefully you have an itemized list of what was in this room.
It's bad.
Not only
It's
was
really,
it itemized,
really
it was
bad.
atomized.
If they wrecked this area, there's only one thing they would have taken.
You don't seem like the person that would have created something dangerous, or just one thing that's dangerous.
It wasn't one thing. It was actually a system, a fairly large system, and I swear to you, I didn't mean for it to be used this way.
To be
What was it,
used
Doctor?
what way?
So they're going to track mutants with this thing? What's going on?
He looks at you with wide eyes and says, "Exactly."
Yes.
What does with wide eyes mean? I don't have eyes.
He looks with a shocked expression and says, "Exactly."
Do you have some way to track your device, or maybe some component within it?
Track the tracker?
Yeah, you know, like, say if someone ever stole it, you could track them down and recover it.
I never imagined it would be stolen. It wasn't meant to be a mutant tracker.
What
I didn't
were you
really.
using it for? What were you using it for?
He was just about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
It wasn't meant to be a mutant tracker. I only realized a couple days ago that it could even be used for that. It was originally set to be kind of a medical scanning equipment to be sent out into a populace and identify certain diseases or health issues. But I realized a couple days ago it could also be used to track the X gene.
Even in your original use, that's rather an egregious breach of people's privacy, isn't it?
Not all of my ideas
Are good?
are... That's funny. Daniel's saying that's funny. Not all of my ideas are with morals. Though this was meant more as in impoverished countries where diseases are running rampant.
And where things like privacy don't exist. I got you.
Fine, if you want to look at it that way, then sure, I understand. But sadly, with the way that the world has been left, there are plenty of locations that would be happy to be cured of diseases rather than keep their diseases just so that they could not be healed.
More and more, I see why people thought the Segovia Accords were a good idea.
So,
And that's what I was thinking.
who knew that you created this? If you just found out that it could do this 2 days ago, who had access to your lab and to your information? And did you have notes that they stole? Maybe we can try to see if someone hacked your system. There should be a plethora of ways to try to find out who stole it.
He points at it.
This is Wakanda. Their technology is in a level of magic.
You are one of those. I see. I apologize. I didn't know I was among the believers of witch doctors and voodoo medicine. I will watch my words more carefully in the future. And he nods to you. Aeon.
Because Blindfold has telepathy in addition to vocal speaking, you are all able to get the distinct impression that Blindfold just rolled his eyes.
Wait, without their permission? That's a breach of privacy.
It is.
It's transmittive, not receptive.
But you're sending something into my brain without asking. That's a
The
form of
same
rape.
way that you talk without asking, sending things to my ears. They're different.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I
I'm
can't
not
put a
picking
tinfoil
things
hat
out.
and block your sound. You could put earplugs, in to block my talking.
So you're saying, Justin, if you don't put the earplugs in, then you're asking for it?
Yes.
The way he's dressed, yes.
Wow. Okay, let's move on.
Daniel,
I-
I find that very helpful security guard that we that helped us last week, the Wakandan guard, and I'm gonna have him look through their logs to determine if there's video recordings of the people that did this, or if they can somehow track the stuff, since Reed doesn't seem to know if that's possible.
Okay. Hey, look, plutonium. You are able to find that Wakandan troop. He is actually interrogating 2 guards in one of the lower prisons. The 2 guards that Blindfold was able to identify earlier. It seems that they were mind controlled. At least that's what they say. They have no memory of doing any of that stuff. Anyway,
Let's see.
he pulls up the video logs and the information, and there is definitely something destroying, looking for something on that platform, but the camera isn't picking it up. Things are flying on their own. Stuff is being completely smashed and demolished, as if by some huge weight, but you can't actually see it. Nothing is picked up on normal cameras, infrared, or tech magic cameras, as Aeon would put it.
And
It's like the Invisible Hulk.
Someone who, maybe manipulates gravity, or there's tons of different things that it could be.
I
True.
will ask him before I disconnect with him. Would you possibly analyze the video at a slower rate of speed?
Sure. He looks confused, and the picture slows down, and you see someone that is wearing the same costume that Surge is wearing.
I will turn to Surge. Care to explain?
Search. Search.
Roll me a perception check, Mark.
Yes.
Which, if I remember correctly,
Oh,
should be
gee,
like
what
55.
No, it is not. Perception
Skill.
is on the second page, I think. Yep. So plus 9. So roll. 1d20.
Good roll.
21.
Go figure. Okay. You guys see that the person's hair color is completely different.
You can change your hair color?
Lightning gave you abs?
No, but it does braid your beard.
Zooming in from the cameras that are available, it just kind of more pixelates it, but you can see that the person's skin tone is slightly different, the hair color is slightly different, the goggles are slightly different, only the suit is the same.
Oh, great. We have a Nega Surge.
Hey, Serge, last time you were at one of your Speedster conventions, did you recognize this guy at all?
Yeah, that's I think he was the same guy that went to your insensitive buff guy convention that you usually go to.
Aw, he calls you buff.
I know.
Oh,
Aw.
snap.
But seriously, do you know this person?
I was not trying to be an ass.
Unfortunately, I can't see the screens.
Well, ask someone to allow you to look through their eyes.
And the plot thickens, yet you wouldn't see it.
Can I use yours?
No.
You can't see with use someone's eyes. Can I use yours? No.
I said to ask. I didn't say I was going to let him use mine. There's other people in this room.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
You should just use his eyes and then make him forget he let you use his eyes.
Be the change you want to see in the world, Eon.
Wait, you can't see the change.
I already saw the change after everyone died. Let's get started.
Did you see the sign? Did it open up your eye?
You know,
So-
didn't go further in it.
Are you missing a suit of clothing, Serge?
So I roll perception. Do I remember anybody like this?
So, thinking back, you've only met 2 people who could move as fast as you. One was a smaller woman, blonde,
All right.
college student from a couple of years ago. And you met her while you were in costume. The other was a fairly large dude. He was built more like a bodybuilder. He looked maybe like he was Pacific Islander, and completely bald. And he couldn't manipulate speed, but all of his abilities were increased. He
You met
was
the Rock?
stronger, faster, but he couldn't move as fast as you.
Harder, faster, badder, stronger?
Yep.
He was the knockoff Daft Punk song.
Serge?
So I relate all that. I kind of know him. Kind of. I've heard of him. He's not as good as me in multiple ways, both physically and I'm trying to think of the word for right, wrong, morally. But he works for Hero Point.
So
with
last you'd known, he actually joined the military. That gentleman.
that
But
gentleman
this would
not
be-
joined the military.
This would
So we
be
might go
him,
to,
a little bit lighter, wearing a wig.
So, I think if we do a Google search for VA's last drop of Social Security numbers, we might find out where he is.
Well, if he's from the military, then it might make sense that he could be attached to Senator Kelly.
Yep, and Senator Kelly definitely would want this tech.
Seems quite a stretch. Do you believe that the senator would stoop to such
Yes.
methods?
Yes. I've fought his people before.
I do not know.
Have you?
Yes. Yes, I have.
He doesn't have people.
Sure he does. You don't think that he's not their face, but he works behind the scenes. He's paranoid. My character's a little paranoid when it comes to
Yeah,
paranoid.
conspiracy theorist, yeah.
He just assumes that
Well,
he's,
you know, you can't have the doctors
he's
here in the
right,
spot.
yeah. He must be a part of that, the human like brotherhood.
The Brotherhood of Evil Humans?
The brotherhood
much.
of evil humans.
Well,
I think that's
Otherwise
actually
known
just
as
called the Nazi Party.
Boa.
how much time do we have before the mutants have to speak?
About 3 hours.
Sweet.
Oh, okay.
I should be preparing my speech.
We might as well check the rest of your workshops, Doctor, and see if anything else has been stolen.
Okay, so Silver Surfer and Reed Richards are going to go check on making sure that things are, nothing else is missing. Blindfold's going to go start working on his speech. What about you, Serge?
Are we doing speech or ourselves out of character? Are we doing like our characters rolling a percentage and like that's how inspiring you were?
Oh, no. No. You're gonna talk.
Yeah, my guy's not end up actually gonna do the speech. He realized he's stage fright. So
Well, I mean, for you specifically, that may not be a good idea anyway, because somebody might recognize you.
yeah. I mean, I could go really fast and just have a microphone, modulate my voice, maybe. I don't know.
Like the Flash, just doing vibrating.
Can't catch me. You can't see.
But you can still see.
You
Okay,
shouldn't be afraid of us. We're not a threat to you.
Well, we
What
can
do you-
tap on shit.
What are you doing, Aeon?
Getting water, apparently.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you're doing.
Silver Surfer and Reed Richards are checking to see if anything else was stolen. Blindfold's working on his speech. Surge, I think, is helping him with his speech. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I'm helped. I've got some experience with my PR guys on what to say. So
All right. And what were you gonna do, Aeon?
I'll help rummage through Reed Richards' lab, I guess.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna start with Aeon and Silver Surfer. If you guys can give me perception checks.
$24.
I didn't realize this was all. I drew this all.
30. Got 20!
Wow, nat 20.
Got all the things.
You go through and find that sure enough, there is a couple different things that have been stolen as you guys are making your way through the laboratories. The main thing that got hit and robbed was the tracking software system. But he had several other inventions and research that was also taken that it looks like whoever took that stuff was a lot more careful.
I'm sorry. What was what was it that they were careful about to cart off?
So it was one of the Quinjets and the research behind where the Quinjets are.
Wait, they stole an actual Quinjet?
Yep.
How did they able to steal all this big, huge things without anyone noticing?
That is a very good question.
there's this thing called telepathy.
So they
Never heard of
stole
it.
One of the Quinjets and
it
the
disappeared.
research-
It disappeared, but the it didn't fly out.
So it was like teleported out?
Maybe.
Instant transmission. Goku was here. One of the Quinjets and the research behind it. Now, does that mean like there was physically research sitting behind the Quinjet and that went as well, or are you saying that the research behind the Quinjet into making Quinjets was stolen?
That.
Got it. I wasn't being a smartass. I was actually asking
Yeah, I
the
know.
question. Okay.
I sure hope Dr. Richards starts practicing actual security measures.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if you think about it, Dr. Richards didn't have to practice security measures. He was in Wakanda and given assurances by the Wakandan government.
That he was
So-
safe.
And that's why he should have followed security measures.
So the first
Like
thing-
what?
You can never be too paranoid, I guess.
That's a very specific security measure.
Yeah. So which security measure should he have followed?
Being more paranoid.
Yeah.
Encrypting his hard drives.
Yeah, I think those were already encrypted.
How do we know it wasn't encrypted yet? I mean, how do you know his hard drives weren't encrypted?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I send a notice to the helpful Wakandan guard, that these items have been stolen from his other facilities.
In honor of the late great Stan, we will call him Helpful Lee.
He actually had a name. I just don't remember what it was.
That's not his name at all.
What happened?
He had a name. I wrote it down, but my dog ate my homework. I don't know. The computer ate like my last week's notes. Save.
What was the question?
I send not Okoye the notes of everything that got stolen.
So, Mr. Richards, who knew about your latest discovery? Because you literally discovered 2 days ago that you could use this technology against mutants.
Well, I put it in a security report and sent it to the Wakandan Tech Administration. So anyone who had their fingers on that paper.
Wow.
And to be fair, out of character, Reed Richards doesn't usually focus on that stuff anyway.
Sure.
He's much more of an idea person.
Like Oppenheimer.
Yeah, actually, exactly like that. Okay, so that's what you guys find. Was there any other actions? You don't have to keep that on, John.
I know, but it's fun.
I applaud you for your sticking into character, but
I'm the only one who's in character, who's
It's
in
true.
costume.
it's true. Mark, go get Krylon spray paint.
I was just thinking, I'm like, that's probably not healthy.
I need
Especially
you
the
to
way I
shave
do it.
yourself. Shave yourself completely. Bic
No one can do that.
everything, and then spray paint yourself silver.
I thought
No.
I already was.
So I'll teach you a secret. If you don't actually want to shave yourself bald and cover yourself in spray paint, put on a skull cap and cover yourself with baby oil first, then spray paint. Then you can just wipe the baby oil off.
No, I like committing.
I'm afraid to know how you got that idea.
Wookie.
Wookie? But that's
A Wookiee,
fur
yes.
coat. I'm confused.
He put on a skull cap, and then wiped himself down with baby oil, and then curled up next to a Wookiee for 8 to 10 hours.
I'm just
That's
confused how
actually
you know
not
my
that
safe word.
far from the truth, but I don't think we have enough time for that story.
We don't.
And it's really getting to the R.
And scene.
Alright, is everybody good fast forwarding? Are you ready, John?
I'm
Next
ready.
time on Fetish has gone wild.
Okay, give me 1 second to finish dropping in people.
Oh my god, people are dropping from the skies.
So remind me again, what is the purpose and point of the summit or thing? Like, what's my speech point supposed to be?
Okay, so the summit is really the first time that this many leaders of so many different countries and government bodies, because some of them are not great people, have gotten together to discuss the state of the world as a whole since D14, since D18. So this summit was supposed to be to cover really kind of the emerging everything that's going on right now. The mutants are one of the hotter topics because they've been kind of popping up all over the place and no one's really sure what to do with them. And with the Mutant Registration Act coming up in the vote pretty soon, to be attached to the come on, somebody help me. Something
Soviet
Accords.
Accords?
Yeah, the Sokovia Accords.
Soviet Accords?
Yeah, that was a big
Sokovia Accords?
thank you. Item for this summit specifically. You know for a fact that Senator Kelly and Osmond Price, have been going over a lot of like kind of small group meetings and conferences about how much mutants are a threat, and how they are like a toddler with a gun, except a well-trained toddler can still understand what a gun is.
Wow, they apparently do not understand toddlers. I'm going to have a few slides for my speech that I will work out with Shuri or whoever my tech person is beforehand. They'll be the pictures that I want to use will be easier to get hold of than all of us would like. Those pictures shouldn't exist, but they will. And yeah, that'll be central to my coming speech.
Is there anything that you might need to clear through me?
No, like it would be shocking to see, but it's historical. It's just
Okay.
going to be people with yellow Star of David on their shoulders.
Yeah.
And with
Okay.
tattooed numbers on their arms.
I figured that was the direction you were going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to keep putting this in here. You guys can get the idea. It's filled with UNWO bodies.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I take up the hovering point that we were at when Puck was concealing us?
So you are going to be you're going to draw a lot more attention away from the speakers if you are. For right now.
I mean, yes at first, right? But not so much later.
Mark, you're a flying, completely silver, bald man on a surfboard. It doesn't matter what they were showing on those screens.
All right.
You'd still stand out.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Especially if the whispers right now going through are what you expect, which is he's an alien. That's an alien. They brought an alien in.
Okay.
Okay.
Show them your passport. You'll be fine.
The conference comes back into meeting. Shuri asks that everybody takes their seats, and says that while she believes that there was much information to be gained, this summit also saw its dangers, and explains that the summit was attacked several times, and actually goes through some detailed reports of how the summit was attacked. And there's events that occurred that you guys weren't even brought in on. Stuff that happened on the fringes of the country of Wakanda, and outside the main city, that just the Wakandan forces took care of. She also goes into detail on, well, not complete detail, but a good amount of detail on Craven's group of terrorists, I guess, but without using names of them, and says that the members here, indicating to you guys, were able to disarm the threat and keep all of the UNWO bodies safe. So she's trying to, beef you guys up a little bit. And says that she is very grateful that you guys were able to make this trip and be included in the Wakandan Summit, as you are one of the things that we need to start
Champion?
not taking for granted. As mutants are here, and they're here to stay. And then she will ask if you're ready, Blindfold.
As ready as one can be.
And she will move back and offer to help you to the microphone.
It will be graciously accepted.
And she essentially does the elbow more as a, not as a showing you to the microphone, but accompanying you to the microphone. And then goes and sits down. More than you can feel, the emotions radiating around you, There's quite a few people that you can see have been swayed strongly one direction or the other regarding the mutant issue throughout the room. And right behind you, to your right, is Senator Kelly and Osman Price, who you can feel anger and hate coming off of them like a storm.
But for the rest of the assembly, the prevailing emotion is
interested. They don't have, most of the people here, while they probably have mutants in their countries or in their areas, haven't had a lot of experience with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored assembly persons, government officials, and representatives, it is my honor to speak to you on this important issue regarding the emergence of mutants in previously unprecedented numbers around the globe. As I'm sure you are aware, sorry, I had a momentary moment of a thought passing my head.
Don't do that.
I say that out of character. That's why the laughter. Please ignore that.
Yeah, you're fine.
As I am sure you are aware, our world has undergone the most catastrophic upheaval in the last 5 years. From the untold disaster wrought by Thanos to the difficulties adapting in the world that has followed, change is the number one word that can describe the era we find ourselves in now. Changing technology, changing world and environment, even change within ourselves. The number of people who have discovered that they are not quite like their neighbors has increased unaccountably and uncountably since Thanos, since D18. In fact, the number of people who expected to find themselves different from their neighbors, but found their neighbors changed as well, is unprecedented. But it is important to remember that in this time, that every mutant, every person who has found within themselves something new and different and unexpected, is themselves a person. They were a person before D18. They're a person today. They will be a person tomorrow. They are fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, grandparents, lovers, activists, patriots, proponents for change, even politicians. Mutants are not different from the other people walking this globe. We didn't ask for what happened to us. And what we want more than anything is happiness, a life, the chance to grow old and die happy surrounded by our loved ones. What some would tell you is that mutants are dangerous. Mutants are the cause of the world's ills. Those people with power unchecked. They should be watched. They should be registered. We should put numbers attached to them. This historically has not gone over well. At this point, we get the slideshow presentation.
Okay. So describe the slides as you're talking.
It's basically just going to be a continuous rotation of
The Holocaust?
well, not the Holocaust, but the people of families with yellow stars of David on their arms, people with tattoos. We are not going to show atrocities. We are going to show the human outside of the labeling of people. And honestly, there's more than enough pictures to just cycle that for however long the speech is actually going to take.
True.
Historically, marking the people who are lesser or subhuman or the cause of the world's ills or need to be rounded up and dealt with has not gone well. It is, in fact, the most evil act committed by man in history. And it saddens me to say that I share a species with people who propose that today in all seriousness. As if the problems of Hydra in the United States government agencies was not enough, we have this resurgent attempt to label people with our own faces, with our own blood, with our own humanity, and other them, and call them something else. I stand here before you to say that I do not consider myself a member of the mutant species. I'm a member of the human species. I breathe the same air, walk on the same planet as every one of you, as does every other person. Mutant gene or no, what we are is living in the same world. And what we need more than anything else at this time is to stand with each other, shoulder to shoulder. And if the shoulders of mutants can hold a little bit more weight, then that's a little less weight for someone else who's struggling under the burden. If we work together, if we stand together, if we build a new world together, then it will be a world for each and every one of us. If instead we build a world of conflict, of fighting, of bloodshed, I cannot imagine the pain that bloodshed will cause. There has not been a single civil war in the history of this planet that did not leave scars that lasted for generations. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you this: has this world not suffered enough? Let us instead build. Let us work side by side, hand in hand. And instead of this, let us bring hope to every man, woman, and child on this globe, now and forever. And somewhere around this point, after me gesturing up, we have humans and mutants standing hand in hand, even if I had to pose for that image myself.
You can hear... Oh, wow. That's not what I meant to do. You can hear clicks of cameras going off. You can hear, now that your speech is over, you can actually hear sniffling throughout the crowd. There's a silence, like dead silence. Even people that don't rely on hearing like you do can hear people's hearts beating. That's how quiet the room is. And then at first it starts with a slow clapping and starts growing throughout the conference hall. People standing up and clapping. You can feel disdain and frustration growing behind you. But you can tell that your speech went over very well. And then in a, I don't want to say in a flash, but very quickly, you sense Shiri next to you again, joining in with the clapping. And she says, Thank you very much. That is exactly what they needed to hear. To you, Blindfold.
Mhm.
And then she'll help you back to your. She'll walk you back to your seat, and wait for the clapping to die down, and say, "Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. There is one extremely important piece of information that needs to be shared with you all. It will come as some shock that we have an extraterrestrial member with us. He is, and you hear shocks and awes as people are, starting to clap and talk with each other. Everything goes silent again. He is not a member of any otherworldly body that wishes us ill. And then you can almost hear her thinking, "Is he though?"
Question out of character:
Yeah.
Is New Asgard still a thing in this continuity?
No.
No.
Okay. And people in this continuity know Thor is an alien too, right?
Here's a god.
Yes. But the Asgardians that are here on Earth are hidden among the people. But yeah, they knew that. I don't know. Actually, I think they just think he's a god. I don't think they thought of him as an alien. Yeah.
I don't
You know
think
what?
they do.
I'm the GM. I'm saying that they thought of him as a god. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not a member of anyone that wishes to do us ill, but he has information he needs to share with the world, and this is the best avenue to present that information. And she will look over at you.
Out of character before we do that. That's not... Well, okay. I'll address that. I stand up, and I walk...
So you get the feeling that what she means is you're coming to give us information and not threaten. Yeah.
Correct. So I stand up, I walk to the podium, I say thank you, Your Highness, and bow to her. And then I will pull my surfboard out of my chest and set it down next to me. Just to make sure I've got everybody's attention.
Okay.
You got it.
Your Highness, members of the UNWO, Senator Kelly, representatives of your countries and people of Earth. My name is Norin Rad, and I am, as many of you assume, from another planet called Zenla. To be blunt, I am an alien. However, as the Queen of Wakanda very eloquently stated, I am not coming to you on behalf of Zenla or anyone else. I am a traveler of the cosmos, a sentinel of the spaceways, and I was on my way here when Thanos invaded your planet 5 years ago. I came to give aid, but obviously I failed to arrive in time. Instead, what I found as I passed the borders of your solar system is a preparing army poised and waiting to strike. The invaders are a warlike species called the Skrull, who have the ability to shapeshift into the likeness of others. I know that this is hard to hear and hard to believe, but I'm here to implore you to spread peace amongst your communities. Whether you be mutant, human, or anyone else. Because what is left of the population of Earth is going to need to work together to overcome the Skrulls when they do decide to invade. Now you may say you do not believe me, which I understand. Skepticism is a healthy thing. However, with the help of Wakandan technology, I will freely offer everyone in this room who wishes to participate my journey. I offer for you to see inside my mind freely, but I will not inflict this on anyone without their permission. So if you do not wish to participate, the Wakandan representatives can instruct you on what to do. And I will pause and wait to see what they say, because I really don't know.
Give me 1 second. You see about probably a little under 10% get up and leave the hall.
Is Senator Kelly or the other guy still here?
Senator Kelly left, but
But the
Osmond
other
Price
guy,
is
Osmond Price is-
Osmond Price is looking at you with the feeling that you get based on his temperament is that he would rather take the risk and find out more information than go into something blind.
Oh, he's not an idiot. All right.
I actually nod to him slightly.
Oh, he's a radical inquisitor.
Okay. Everybody else looks untrusting, but that they also need this information. And to be fair, they have no idea what the scrolls are.
Right.
Also, I've just given this whole speech about how we're all humans.
Yep, and we all have to band together. So you kind of, and that went into some of the rules I'm making here. You kind of set up the pins.
Wait. These are actually rolls that mean something?
No, yeah, but I don't do them on here because I don't know which ones you guys can see and which ones you can't. So I roll them here at the house. Okay, so you move into the device, Mark?
Yes.
Okay. As you fly forward,
Yes. Hover slowly.
the device rises from the ground into being like pylons around you, and you can see holographic energy.
Do we have enough of those, or do we require additional pylons?
Damn it, you guys are boring.
I think you have enough, but you may require additional pylons. Smart Alec. And energy starts to flow through and collect around you, and you can tell that it's manipulatable energy.
Okay. So I will project the following thoughts into the cloud. They will see Galactus arrive at Zenla. They will see me tearing away from my love and making the bargain to become Silver Surfer. They will see my transformation into Silver Surfer. They will see me leading Galactus to various planets and see Galactus consuming and feel my confliction over it. They will see me learn of Thanos' plot and me leaving to confront and assist Thanos, or assist against Thanos. They will see half of life disappear. They will see me get injured, and that's what prevents me from getting there. They will see that Galactus hungers more now than before because he only eats living planets, and I'm afraid Earth will be one of its next targets. They see me fleeing in my wounded state to Earth, and they will see the Skrull barricade of ships around the solar system, and me breaking through the ships and being bombarded by fire and falling through the atmosphere to Earth. And that's where it will cut off.
Where is Tony Shark when you need him?
Tony Shark
has lasers. Frickin' lasers.
Okay. As
Tony
you
Shark, Tony Shark.
Wow. As you pull back into yourself, you can see that many of the eyes around the house are wide with worry or tears, as they are worried. Many are talking to each other. You hear calls in several languages out from the audience saying, is there any way that we can double check this information? Where can we get this information to share with our people? Like that kind of, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Those shouts.
So as that starts to happen, I will float back down to the stage, pull the board out, and set it aside, and I will hold my hands up, and I will say, I said before on the stage, skepticism is healthy. I want to assist your nations in confirming this information. So I will work with your leaders to enact a plan that I can visually prove all of this with your governments. I am here to help, but the best thing I can tell you is your Earth is in a better place than I thought it would be when I arrived here. These mutants, and I point to the ones behind, and the mutants in your community, along with every man, woman, and child, will make a difference in the days to come. This was not where I had planned to share all of this information, but thanks to the gracious nature of Wakanda and its people, I felt that this was the right place to do it.
From behind you, Shuri clears her throat and nods to you, and she says, each and every one of you will have the opportunity to, of course, speak with this gentleman who offers his information freely. Also, please note that every member of the UNWO body that has attended this conference will have at their disposal much of the advances that we've made. On your way out, if you discuss it with some of our tech representatives, we can get you one of the communication devices. From here, we within Wakanda want to make sure that we can communicate throughout the world in the best way possible. We've linked all of the following, and she points to the ground here. We've linked them all to a satellite connection network to allow for instantaneous communication. And you see the light flicker and create a holographic display of another person, except for Blindfold. Actually, Blindfold, you don't even sense it. You're not even sure what she's talking about. But there's a hologram of a person that appears and says, our plan is to have the hologram says, our plan is to have more constant communication across the planet so that we can help each other where people need to be helped. And then the hologram disappears into a small device on the floor, and Shuri says, moving forward, the best thing we can do is work together. And you note that at this time, Osman Price excuses himself and exits. And then people start leaving their seats to come up and talk to you, Mark. And Blindfold.
Yep.
Unless somebody has something specific they're going to do, I'm going to fast forward.
Nothing specific.
Okay.
And yeah, this is very much the reason for wearing the blindfold publicly, because if it's just smooth skin where eyes should be, people either stare or try to not stare, and they feel uncomfortable. When there is a blindfold, they at least can look at the place where eyes would normally be and behave mostly normal. Especially if I don't give away entirely that I can tell everything about what's going on.
True.
Like, I put my hand out and let them come to me instead of taking their hand.
Fair point.
Did you flinch when you heard that voice come out of nowhere?
If I flinched every time something came out of nowhere, I would be a shitty hero.
Fair point.
Language.
Oh, yeah.
My apologies.
No
I would be a bad hero. I would be an ineffective hero.
Okay. The summit comes to a close. Everyone is given essentially a goodie bag. Everyone is given several large
Gummy bears? Jolly Ranchers?
Yes.
Hershey
I'm
bars.
trying to think of what the containers are called that safely house tech.
Pills.
You're in the army with moving stuff around. You know what I'm talking about.
Alex?
Cases.
cases, let those big cases. But anyway, pods work too. But they're given these large cases that have a bunch of different technological advances and immunosupplements and that kind of stuff to take back to their communities. Some of the larger countries are given their own transports. They're more of like the Wakandan style transports and not the super Quinjets that you saw in the basement. But they're all left with that. The ones that come up and talk to each of you in turn, there's a handful that come up and talk to Blindfold and Aeon and the mutants. Even more come and talk to Silver Surfer, and the questions are pretty much the same coming from everyone. How soon do you think this is going to happen? How can we best get a copy of this information so we can share it with our people? How best do you think we can protect ourselves from this threat? And so on and so forth.
Yeah, and my answers are: I will work with the Wakandan government to see if we can get a copy somehow. I am still new to telepathy, which is basically what we've managed to do here. So I don't have an answer for you, but I will be working with your governments to provide it. And what were the other questions? Sorry. I missed what you said for the other questions.
How can we best combat the threat? How soon do you think the
long?
threat's going to be?
I don't know about how long it will be. It has taken them quite a while to amass such a force outside, so they must be waiting for something. I'm not sure what. And how best to tackle it. I believe your governments would be the right folks to coordinate with other governments to form an effort. I, of course, will assist in defending the planet.
Okay. The people slowly filter out of the room, and Shuri once you guys are back to pretty much just being your group, she thanks you again for all of your help. Because without you, the summit never would have. I mean, it would have been dead from day one. With the attack from the Inhumans, and when she says that, she looks at Victor Von Doom as if he has information he should say, and he says nothing. So she continues. She
Mr. Von Doom, it seems like there's something you should say right here.
I don't believe so. I mean, I've had my fair share of trouble with the Inhumans myself, but I never expected them to attack here. And that seems to be all he wants to say on the subject.
Do you believe that the fact that Inhumans have now somehow formed a way to mutate and live as both Inhumans and mutants is a cause for concern?
What?
Well, you didn't know.
You were there
He was there for what?
when I found out and told everybody, when I spent my hero point.
He was unconscious.
Oh.
Oh, well,
He-
now you know.
He got severely damaged.
You say like he's a robot.
He was Iron Man.
Injured. He was Iron Man'd up.
Yeah. I say, I apologize. I thought you were conscious when we actually discovered that information.
I didn't think the Terrigen Mist works on mutants. Terrigen?
I would guess it's the other way around. They've somehow figured out how to mutate in humans, not expose mutants to Terrigen Mists.
Well, that would imply that they have the ability to mutate anyone.
Either way,
Special
it's
gene,
terrifying.
gene or not, it's definitely something in their genetics. Is all we found out so far, I believe.
Interesting.
What just happened? Everyone fall off? No, I don't think so. What just happened? Okay. Have I returned?
Yep.
That was weird. It was like I fell off the internet for a second. Sorry. My stream's still going, but Rabbit died somehow. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I just kept talking, and Justin's like, he dropped, right? No, I don't. My screen's always Mutants and Masterminds. Or the Roll20. Where were we? What was the last thing you heard?
The last thing was that Nick saying we found it was a gene or something special.
Okay. Yeah, so Von Doom says, interesting, with a weird gleam in his eye. And Shuri says, I can't remember what Shuri was saying. I just said it.
But I would say,
About the Registration Act vote coming up.
Oh, yes. I really hope that both of your speeches had an effect as the Mutant Registration Act takes place on the 29th. Today is the 24th, which would be 5 days. Or today is the 25th, which would be 4 days.
I hope thank you for your assistance. I hope it was helpful. Do you know if there was any way was that recorded? Can that be distributed? I'm not familiar with this technology.
So, we're going to have to figure something out. We're going to have to work with you. What was projected into their minds was just that. It was what you did for us, but on a larger scale.
I will be happy to work with you and your government to make that accessible to all.
Wouldn't it have been easier just put on like a big screen that they could watch rather than have it in their minds?
Well,
at least that
sure.
way recorded it.
That would have been easier if we knew how to do that.
Wait. You can beam it into their brains, but you don't know how to put it on a screen?
No, they were simply an amplifier for something I can already do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not simple to convert telepathic signals to electronic storage. You may be better off working with a CGI team.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this term.
So,
something?
having some of our artists here work with you to recreate your visions.
Tell us where they touched you.
Wow. So, she says, if you wouldn't mind, and then uses your first name that I always get wrong, Silver Surfer.
Norin.
Norin. If you would mind staying here for a little while.
Wait. So the Silver Surfer is no one?
Norin Rad.
Is his name.
Okay, I gotta say, that name is pretty rad.
It is.
Shoot. If you wouldn't mind staying with us for a little while, as your compatriots will go back to New York, so that we can work on this.
Absolutely. I would be honored.
And then she explains to you three, because I'm assuming that Surge is back down here. Because Surge is everywhere. We've already packed the equipment I promised Xavier into the transport that's going to be taking you home. Feel free to stay in Wakanda as long as you'd like. Though I know Xavier would be happy to hear your thoughts on how this summit went.
Please give my warmest condolences and apologies to the professor. I'm not sure I was supposed to divulge this information here, but I imagine it needed to be.
I'm sure it'll be fine. He's good at adapting.
If he prefers. If he prefers, I can have all governmental requests routed through his team. If that would elevate his status in some way, I would be happy to do that. As I do not actually have a permanent address here on Earth.
We'll get you a P.O. box.
Or a cellular device.
Yeah, some way to track you.
Oh, so you're not a cellular device yourself?
But
I do not believe so.
he's a single cellular organism.
Well, then, perhaps we should teach you how to use 4G LTE.
Actually, would it make sense, Your Highness, for me to have one of those devices so that you may contact me at any point in time?
Well, we're sending 5 to the Xavier Institute. Along with instructions on how to have them installed on some of his nifty toys. But I don't see any reason why you couldn't as well.
Oh, you do not have like a handheld version or one that I could assimilate?
She doesn't understand your question. I don't understand your question.
One
What's a
that
handheld communicator, not a laptop?
versus like
He-
some laptop thing.
He just needs a cell phone?
Yeah, I mean,
A high-tech cell phone? A Wakandan cell phone? That you want
There
a
you go.
Wakandan cell phone? Yeah, no problem. We can hook you up.
thank you.
Okay, so group, what's going on?
I am
Apparently, we're looking up all the stuff onto the Quinjet and going home to the CIT stuff.
Aeon is for going home.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what we were doing.
No, I'm asking what people, if anybody else is doing anything else.
No, I don't think there's much left to do here. We've already got the information on tablets and got communications methods.
My work here is done.
I like this country, but
Mhm.
I think Xavier needs us more.
All right, so you guys board your transport and head home.
To assassinate Kelly.
Wow.
What?
And get back to the Xavier Mansion. You bring all the equipment inside. You see that there's a bunch of high-tech equipment that was handed off to the Xavier Institute. That'll help with communication, resources, that kind of stuff. As well as like a full set of upgrades for the Blackbird and something called Danger Room 2.0, which were designs built by Reed Richards.
I am going to be watching the Mutant Registration Act with great interest.
So,
question.
you guys, yes,
Very important question.
yes.
I need to know what the makeup of this X-Men team is.
Okay, so we went over it
Uh,
episode 1 or episode 2. I can't remember.
I just is Sage or Danger Room a member of the current team?
No.
Danger Room.
Okay.
That's how. That was greatly trained.
It's a
It
long
is.
story.
It's a long story.
Okay, I was gonna say, Blindfold doesn't wear much makeup, but maybe some eyeliner and fake lashes.
Over the bare skin?
No, it was clearly a lie.
So what he doesn't realize is that while he was sleeping, I permanent markered eyes on his bare skin.
I just like to think googly eyes.
Oh, even better. Oh, permanently glued though, like gorilla glued.
Okay, over the next couple days, you guys are hearing different news organizations talking about the Sokovia Accords, about what the Mutant Registration Act is, what it means. You hear a lot of information about the Wakandan Summit, and there's even some video that has come out from the Wakandan Summit. One of the videos that keeps getting played almost on a loop is Blindfold's speech, or portions of Blindfold's speech. Some of the clips, as always, have been cut apart, and only certain parts are used to make it seem like it's advocating something else other than what it was supposed to. But for the most part, it's a positive message. And it leads right up to April 29th, which is the morning vote of the Mutant Registration Act. Part of the tech that was sent out with the UNWO care packages, as it would be, are voting stations. And so the leadership of all of the not registered,
Members.
members of the UNWO body vote on the Mutant Registration Act. And it takes several hours for the votes to be counted. In the meantime, the media is again broadcasting blindfold speech, as well as different members from the UNW body speaking up on different sides of the of what it could mean and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of violent mutant videos that are shown, both mutants as the violent people and the violence against mutants. There are several people that are pushing for the Mutant Registration Act as safety for the mutants, because if they are registered, then we can get them the help they need and make sure the communities have the help they need for these people, blah blah blah. However, when the vote clicks down, the vote fails by a tiny fraction. Shortly after that announcement, Senator Kelly, who is one of the largest people pushing for the Mutant Registration Act, as you all knew, he essentially laughs it off. He explains that his experience in Wakanda really helped him see that while mutants are dangerous, the majority of them are dangerous, he understands that they too are humans, and that they need to be kept safe from threats within and without. And you can see, as the camera kind of pans back, that he is speaking from the White House lawn, and there is a small contingent of media around him. As it continues to move back, he says, in order to make sure that the Department of Mutant Affairs has all the resources they need for security and enforcement of both humans and mutants alike, to make sure that everyone is safe, the government has approved for a set of security enforcement drones. And as he pans back, you see very large humanoid robots. And labeled across their chests, you can see the acronym Sentinel.
Had a feeling.
And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Son of a...
We will pick up, when we next pick up, we'll be picking up on April 30th, 2023, which is the 5-year anniversary of D18. And this is also the last chapter of Rise of the Mutants.
I am glad for it. Also, yay. Having the crowd reaction be that high and the vote go that close makes it feel like I made a difference.
You did make a difference. That vote was going to succeed.
Yes. Because, historically, that has not gone well. And, the heroes in Germany were the people who fought. The heroes in America were the ones who supported. Let's make American heroes, not German heroes.
So that's going to do it for our show tonight. Thank you, everyone, as always, for watching. If you'd like to support us, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button here on Twitch, or you can head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/gamersledge, where for as little as $1 a month, you can get your name on every show just like these folks have done so. For all of us, thanks for watching, and until next time, game on!
Game on. Thanks, guys.